This is my ID right here. Shut the beard. While human beings have yet to find the meaning of life, one thing that has become very evident is that life is a journey. A ride, essentially. Like a roller coaster, going from the start to finish, life has many ups and downs. And while downs are a necessary part of our lives, we cannot let them define us as a whole. Hi, my name is Ryan Sedegapur, and today I'll be talking to you about the seriousness of stress and depression. I'll be giving an overview of what depression is, the first-hand effects of suicide, and why it's okay to ask for help. The universe is a vast place filled with much mystery, and our consciousnesses are trapped inside of our brains, shielded by our fleshy bodies, and with a lot left to wonder. Our brains are the most complex things on this earth, essentially a supercomputer that's adapted over years of evolution, and understanding how they work gets a bit tricky. Our brains send out different signals and release different chemicals without us even realizing it. We could be having a completely normal day with nothing negative happening, and your brain releases some chemical that makes you unpleasant, gives you unpleasant thoughts about the past, and worrying thoughts about your future. This right here is called stress. Now, what we do with this stress is very crucial. If we continue to dwell on this, it could lead us down to a path of long-lasting depression. If we continue to fuel these negative thoughts and unpleasant ideas, our brain produces more chemicals without us even realizing it that gets us deeper and deeper into the hole that we're already in. I personally have had to deal with firsthand a lot of depression and mental health issues. About a year and a half ago, I lost the first love of my life, and about a week later, I lost my best friend. He took his own life. All this was happening while I had 7-foot surgeries, and every day was the same routine. I spent every day in bed, unable to move from my surgeries, and I was on a lot of painkillers for my feet, and both their faces were just ingrained in my head. While losing, the breakup was unfortunate, but losing my best friend was unparalleled to it at the time, and still is. It took me long, long months to even get out of anything that was, just get out of the bed, really. The damage that he left behind to all his friends and family is everlasting, and it's irreversible. Unfortunately, he was the happiest guy I'd ever saw, and after that happened, it made me realize how serious mental health is. How can someone who has it all end it, you know? Like at 19 years old, the guy had so much to live for, so much of life to experience. And this is where it got really challenging for me, you know? Each brain is different. Each brain has a unique thought process, and we'll never be able to see inside someone else's head. And the way he was going, his fate was inevitably controlled by his brain chemicals rather than himself. You know, the mistake that he made wasn't just pulling the trigger, but the mistake that he made was feeling like reaching out was not an okay thing to do. He felt like it was wrong. He felt like it was bothersome. And that's what needs to be changed. Now I'm going to talk about how we can fight depression and what's okay to do and what's not okay to do. During my rough patch of life last year, at first I was just letting the depression take me, and I'd reached a new low every single morning that I woke up. And I had reached the point where I was essentially thinking that my life was over. But I decided one day that I needed to fix this, and that's the first step, is to make that decision in your head. Just making that decision, even though it seems like such a simple, very casual step, is a very crucial step. The next thing that I recommend doing is talking to people. Very deeply. Have very deep talks. It doesn't even need to be a therapist. It could be your close family and friends. But just having a very deep talk with them without the feeling of that they're judging you. Because in reality, even though your head is telling you that you're being judged, they're only there to help you and they're there to listen and they are not judging you. And I'll tell you that right now. Unloading all your emotions and receiving encouraging feedback very, very much helps. And also, having the comfort of another person visualizing the things that you're going through is a very good experience and it really is helpful. The next step into fighting the demons in your head is, oops, I'm gonna go back a few slides. The next step into fighting the demons in your head is you have to get your body on the same exact page. Your body is a machine and you get exactly what you put into it out of it. So that means wake up at the same time every morning, set a schedule, get a good amount of sleep every day, eat healthy, go on runs, go on gyms. If you put good food in yourself, you will feel better. Just like a good car needs a lot of oil. I mean, if you put bad oil in a bad car, it won't go. Bad oil in a good car won't go far. So put good stuff into yourself. And I'd say the last step into having a healthy mind is always believe that you can do it. Just that step of believing, even though that also feels like nothing, your consciousness is very, very powerful and it can control. It's all eventually down to you. Your mind can control whatever it wants to. If you really believe that you can do something, you can do it. And I'm telling you that right now. Lastly, I'd like to say mental health is something that is often overlooked in today's society. But around the world, it is a leading cause of people's deaths around the world. People always tend to brush it off because when they hear about suicide, they often see it in the news when they wake up. I also had this mentality until one day something that only happens in stories happened to me and became my reality. And unfortunately, I am going to have to live with that for the rest of my life without my best friend. And it is a very hard subject to talk about. And it took a lot out of me to come and choose this subject, but I feel like it needs to be heard more. With more education and understanding about mental health, we can stop another family member and another friend from being broken to. Thank you.